Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This being a reaction video to Haminations. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who Haminations are, or what it's about, Haminations, or in this case Bryson, is main character of the animated videos. So without further ado, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Yeah!
Hey, Brenner, if you jump off this cliff right now, I'll give you a penny. Hi, I'm Bryson, and a while ago I made a video about the times I almost died and the times I got hurt really bad.
Okay, yeah.
But that got me thinking about the other injuries in my family, and one sibling came to mind. One who had dodged the grasp of death more times than I can count. The sibling who had little to no regard for his own mortality and would regularly hurt himself. The wild child, if you will. The youngest brother, Brenner. This is gonna be a long video, because Brenner gets injured a lot.
Oh my God.
I don't want to cut out good stories or do a part 2, so let's just sit down, relax, grab some popcorn, and laugh at my brother's pain.
You heard the man,
Now, almost all of Brenner's injuries were self-inflicted. However, I think it's only right we start the video with Brenner's very first injury, the one he got from me.
Okay.
Brenner had recently been born, and my parents invited me into their room to say hi to my new baby brother. As I said hello to him, he reached out his hand and scratched my chest. Now, obviously, Brenner was just a baby. He had no control of his body and was just moving around. But my 4-year-old brain could not let this slide. How dare you? First, you come into my house, take my spot as the cute youngest child, and take all the attention from my parents? And now this? I offered you my hand in friendship, and you attacked me.
And you
must pay recompense for your actions.
Hey,
God.
No, stop. Just calm down. Don't do it.
My parents tried to stop me, but it was too late. I reached out and scratched him back. He began to cry, and my parents put me in timeout. Little did Brenner know, his pain had just begun. I genuinely don't know why he is so accident-prone, but this next story was no accident. You know how sometimes your mom has a really good friend, so she decides to make you hang out with her friends' children, but you don't like them? Yeah. When I was younger, my mom sent me and Brenner to play with the neighbor kids, Jake and Steven. The main reason I didn't like Jake was because he said, "Your sister is so hot." Brittany was 18. Jake and I were 8. Have you considered shutting up? Anyways, I spent the day tolerating Jake's shenanigans, but eventually I hid from him on the front porch and watched Brenner and Steven play in the front yard. Come here, Brenner, I want to show you something. Brenner walked up to him, Steven grabbed his hand, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a pair of scissors and started cutting Brenner's fingers.
Do not do this.
I ran over to them to check on Brenner. His fingers were bleeding and he was crying. I slapped the scissors out of Steven's hand, grabbed him by the arm, and forced him inside to his mom. Hey, Steven just cut Brenner's fingers with scissors. Oh, Steven. What? That's it? I was shocked. Call my mom right now so she can pick us up. We're leaving. We left and Brenner's fingers healed just fine. But still, that reaction from the mom was not okay. Luckily, I never had to go to that family's house again. A lot of Brenner's injuries were caused by him wanting to grow up fast and to keep up with his older brothers. For example...
Oh, love them basketball.
My turn.
Dribble. Oh my God, Bro just got
doesn't have spinning wheels on his bike, so neither do I.
That was me 7 years ago. Oh!
Let me try.
But one time, Brenner tried to set a trend that the other brothers would follow, and the consequences were severe. This next story is the real reason I made this video. I'm honestly still surprised that Brenner survived this. It was bad. In our basement, we had a tall exercise machine that looked like this. Brenner decided that he wanted to climb it and jump off it onto our beanbag for fun. However, this time it went horribly wrong. Brenner pushed the beanbag close to the machine, climbed up, and jumped headfirst with the same regard for his life that a Minecraft player has when seeing one block of water at the bottom of a cliff. Part of the beanbag covered the exercise bench, which extended out, hiding the big metal part underneath. Brenner thought that since there was part of the beanbag there, it would be soft. But his head slammed through the beanbag into the metal part, and he split his forehead wide open.
Hello?
Mom and Brittany came running into Brenner crying with blood all over him. They freaked out and dashed him out of the house to take him to the hospital. I only caught a glimpse of him as they ran out, but I could tell it was bad. Brittany and Mom later told me that they could see Brenner's skull through the gash in his head. My dad sent me to a friend's house so they could watch me while my parents took care of Brenner. I remember sitting on their stairs, terrified that I'd never see Brenner again. God, please hear my prayer. If you make Brenner be okay, I promise I'll never be mean to him again.
It's good. Nice.
This, the gaping gash on his forehead, that is new. Forget the rest of it. Fix that.
Somehow the doctors patched him up. I think they even had a plastic surgeon involved in fixing his head. When I next saw Brenner, he was up on his feet with 25 stitches in his head. But he was okay. Phew! I thought
Bro, we're strangling him.
Brenner, I'm so glad you're okay.
Oh, what a heartwarming moment.
Anyway. This next story is surprisingly the only time that Brenner has ever broken a bone. You would think at this point that he would have no bones left because of how often he gets hurt, but nope, he still has bones. My family has a small motorcycle that we call Big Bertha. It is 2 wheels and a motor, that's it. One day, Brenner was driving it, and despite knowing that Big Bertha had no suspension, he decided to ride it off a curb. The bike bounced, Brenner swerved and lost control, and he went head over handlebars.
That's me every time I'm going really fast and I break.
He landed on his arm and totally snapped his wrist. One hospital trip later, and Brenner had a cast. He wanted his cast to be unique, so he asked me to paint it to look like Thanos' gauntlet. So I got the paint out and painted it as best I could to look like the gauntlet. It looked pretty cool in my opinion. But then later, Brenner's arm got itchy. The doctors told him that his arm would be itchy at first, but that if he ignored it, the itchiness would go away. They also specifically told him to leave the cast alone and to not shove anything into the cast to try and scratch his itch. However, the itch got the better of Brenner. So without consulting anyone, he grabbed Brody's glasses and started shoving the long end into his cast in an attempt to scratch his itch. He pulled the glasses out only to realize that the little rubber covering had slipped off and it was now stuck in the cast. Determined to scratch his itch and recover the rubber cover, Brenner somehow removed all of the soft wrappings underneath the cast, leaving only the hard outer shell. Brenner had scratched his itch and was satisfied. Then Mom walked in and saw what Brenner had done.
Oh my God, what is happening in that room? Oh my God, what horrors await?
And explained the situation. Can you imagine being a doctor and setting someone up with a nice cast to help them heal, and the next thing you know, they ruin it?
Yeah, I could definitely imagine that.
I just cleaned up this
and it being painful.
Keep it clean for 10 minutes.
They had to cut
pulled his hair out
and make another one for him.
Hey!
Brenner got home and asked me to paint his new cast.
No,
I spent a lot of time painting that last one, and you ruined it. How do I know you won't ruin it again?
Exactly.
Man, just paint it again.
Why should I be penalized because of your sloppiness?
Exactly.
So Brenner went around wearing a lame blue cast rather than a cool Thanos cast.
Not like you were gonna snap us all out of existence,
and they realized that Brenner's arm had healed crooked. It was literally like a 15-degree angle. My mom pointed this out, and the doctor said, "Yeah, well, it's within the range of crookedness that we consider to be acceptable, so we're just gonna leave it like that." So the doctors explained that in order to fix it, they would have to re-break Brenner's arm, angle it correctly, and recast it.
Oh, that looks painful.
Wait, what?
Hold them down.
Oh my God, wait, what?
That and Brenner's arm eventually healed correctly.
Sorry, guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to put any of your video suggestions in the comments. Bye!